What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of Keenan Allen's best route running from the 2020 season so far. So we're midway through the season or halfway through the season. We're going to be talking about some of his best routes that he's ran. We're going to talk about how to beat zone coverage out of the slot, how to attack a catch technique DB, how to sell vertical and stop on a dime, and then how to run an out route with an inside release. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of value out of this video today. And guys, if you're a receiver and you want to get better hands, don't have a quarterback to throw to you 24/7, check out that link in the description. It says improve your hands in 30 days, full 30-day program to improve your hands. No quarterback necessary. Let's get started. So, when we're in this situation and we got a zone coverage concept here, right? Where we got to do is we got to get across the field right here. This linebacker, we know he's going to bail out and he's going to try to reroute us. He's going to try to get hands and force us to the outside. So what do we got to do? We got to make sure that we attack him, but we don't spend too much time attacking him, right? Because we got to know the situation. This isn't like man coverage, right? And maybe I'm a quicker read on this play. Maybe I need to get across the field right now. So when we come off this thing here, let's watch it full speed. Allen attacks his leverage, throws that 1-2, and then let's accelerate out, right? Clearly this is a quicker play. So clearly we got to make sure that we commit to the move, make him miss, and then go. Break over the middle, okay? So what does he do? As soon as this linebacker starts to widen out and starts to feel like he's going to get hands, we want to attack his leverage. We want to attack his midline. This is something out of the slot that a lot of people worry about. And if you got like an outside breaking route, there are some cases where you can just run by that guy. You don't have to worry about it. But when you got this like kind of 5-yard in concept here, or maybe this like option concept that we're working with Allen, and he's one-on-one with this linebacker for a split second because he's trying to widen out and reroute him, that's when I got to attack his leverage. I got to attack his midline. I got to give him something at the top of this thing, right? So you see we attack him, then we throw that 1-2, right? And when we throw that 1-2, it's important that your feet are sudden. That's something that I think a lot of people don't notice too much about Keenan Allen is how quick his dang feet are, right? Because when his feet are quick and you're able to create a reaction out of a DB from being quick with your feet, when you're popping those steps in the ground and you're really hitting that 1-2 or that 1-2-3 or just a hard jab, whichever it is, your feet always want to be sudden because that suddenness of your feet creates that explosion. If you can create that explosion, that's going to get you some separation. Now, it's going to lead you to some separation. What gets you separation is because where's this linebacker where should he be watching? He should be looking at those hips, right? His eyes might be a little bit high in this case. Your eyes will lie and their shoulders will lie, but your hips will tell the truth, quote unquote. So if you can sell with your body and you go 1-2 and you see how he gives that little head and shoulder fake and he's almost like throwing his hip out, that's how we can get this guy to jump. If you're sudden with your feet and you sell with your upper half and you throw your upper half, that's more likely to get him off this platform and get him to jump to the inside. And now what can I do? Anybody, if you watch my videos, you hear me say this all the time. Anybody can get separation off the line, top of the route, but can you keep the separation? So when I give that 1-2, I make sure I'm in explosive pad level position. I'm driving out of there and I'm widening the gap with this linebacker. I'm extending the gap. I'm telling you this right now, if you're a quicker slot, it's going to be easy to get space on a linebacker if he doesn't have hands on you, right? But let's make sure I keep that space. Let's make sure I widen that distance and I accelerate out of this break. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So again, attacks that leverage, 1-2, accelerate out, snap that head around. That's great work there by Keenan Allen. Okay, so next clip we're going to be talking about, I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but this is a situation where we got to run the same kind of like little 5-yard in concept. And you see how well he's able to execute this kind of like hesitation hop, this hesitation skip, right? Now, in this clip and the next clip, it's going to kind of vary. So actually, you know what? Let me play this next clip right here first, and then we'll break it down in a second. But this one we're going to be talking about the release. So you see how when he comes off the line, he gives this little hesitation hop, and then he pushes vertical, and he just takes him to the outside, and that DB turns his hips and runs. That's what builds into this right here. You see how he hesitates off the line and he's selling like he's just going vertical, and that's why that DB jumps, right? If I can threaten this DB and make my releases look the same, you look at Devontae Adams, he's a guy who does this a lot too. When you can hesitate off the line and make him think that you're doing one thing, right? So I'm selling like I'm just going to do this little hesitation and then go, right? Hesitate and then go, and then on the last clip you run a stop route, you snap it off, but you take that outside release, right? So what does Keenan Allen do? He doesn't make it super complicated. It looks the exact same off the line. It's the same release that he just did, but now instead of bursting upfield, he throws the 1-2, and look what he does with his upper half. He sells with his upper half. He gives that shake with his upper half. That's what gets this DB to commit to the vertical because it all looks the same. If we can make it all look the same, we can make this DB feel like he's in the same situation he was just in last time with my feet, with my upper half, being able to be explosive with my feet, being able to be a salesman with my upper half. That's what's going to get me some separation. And again, it's just about making it look the same, guys. DB is such a hard position to play if you guys play it correctly as a receiver. So as a receiver, if I friggin' make all my stuff look the same. Devontae Adams is a great example. Keenan Allen's a great example. Off the line, so other guys are such technicians because they don't have 80 different moves that they do. They got about 5 or 6 moves, and they make them all look pretty dang similar, so you can't prepare for that. When a DB can't prepare for that, and you guys are being, like we talked about, explosive with my feet, selling with my upper half, and I do everything right, it's very hard for us to lose, right? So again, now we're in this situation. What does Allen do? He bursts up to the top of the route, accelerates to the spot, and gets this thing right now. Probably a first or a second read on this situation. Make your routes look the exact same. Or maybe, let's talk about it again from a reverse. Maybe I come out and I do this first. Maybe I hesitate first. I hit him with that 1-2, and now I beat him on that slant. So maybe next time I hesitate, I get him sitting to the inside, and then I push vertical, and then I beat him over the top. It's all flipped, right? It's based on the DB. You guys should be studying film of these DBs if you have film of the guys that you're going to be playing and understanding how they like to play things. Okay, he likes to jump on this move. He likes to do that. And let's structure our releases accordingly. That's why we focus so much on different releases, different techniques at the top of the route. Because if you guys can have one of those stick and you add that to your game and you really feel confident on that, you're going to get a lot better. You're going to see a lot more separation. And if you can make it all look the same, make it look similar, you're going to get a lot of space. Watch this thing full speed one more time. So hesitate, throw that 1-2, sell like I'm going vertical. Your body has to sell vertical. So on this next clip here, we're going to be talking about how this builds off of the last release, right? So he comes off here, and you see how he gives this little hesitation skip. And what does he do on the last release? He would go hesitate, then throw that 1-2 and cut off of this right leg right here, and then break back underneath. Now he gives this little hesitation skip, right? DB's staying disciplined. He's staying on the inside. He's not jumping. So what do? I beat him to the outside. And I know that if you guys hesitate on a DB and you're trying to take an outside release, which arm do you have to beat? If you want to take an outside release, you want to beat his outside arm, right? That's how you guys got to think about hand technique off the line. If I want to take an outside release, just beat his outside arm. If he's able to recover with his right arm in this situation, that's fine. I still got out press. I still kept the timing. I could get space at the top of the route. I could get even more space at the top of the route. So again, we come off the line, make it look the same, and you see how Allen's in a good range right here where this DB has to make a decision. Anytime you guys work kind of a hesitation skip release like this, especially on an angle and you're trying to push vertical, we don't want to be too far forward to where the DB could just body me, and I don't want to be flat to where he could just shuffle with me and he's not threatened by it, right? So I hesitate, then I push vertical, and Allen does a great job of getting those hands off, selling vertical with his pad level and selling vertical with his speed. That's what you guys got to do in this situation. If you're going to hesitate and then go on a DB, you're going to slide him and then go, or you're going to slide him, go, and then pop it off. You got to be able to sell vertical. You got to be able to go from 0, 100. That's why they call it changing tempo, right? You're changing tempo on the route. So I go 0, 100. I burst up. I'm fast. I'm trying to get this DB to believe it. I want him to believe that I'm going vertical. I want him to turn his hips and run with me, make him think fade. And if he's thinking fade, I can snap it off right now. And what decelerates you? It's your hips. You guys got to be able to stay in stride because we don't want to give an indicator to this DB. If I give an indicator, and what an indicator is popping my chest straight up, leaning back right here, chopping my feet. If you chop your feet or you lean back like that, that's going to be an indicator. DB's going to be able to feel it. He's going to be like, oh, he's breaking down. I can feel it. He changed his speed. He's starting to cruise into this break. He's looking back. Maybe he's not. His eyes aren't straight forward. He's not running vertical. But if you guys just drop your hips in stride, your hips are violent. That's the only way you change direction, being full speed. If you guys try to be soft with your hips and you guys try to cruise, you're not going to be able to change direction running full speed. But if you're violent with your hips and you're really snapping down and you're thinking of your hips as like a guillotine that you drop on a dude's head, that's going to be able to get you space. And low man's going to win, right? Who's lower right now? Keenan Allen's lower than this DB. I snap my head out of it. DB's not in a horrible position, but ball's out on time. And if we do what we need to do, quarterback gets the ball out on time, we will get the ball. We will make a play on this thing. We just got to make sure that we secure the catch, and then we're worried about getting upfield. But if I do my job, quarterback does his job and gets it out on time, it's very, very hard to stop a route like this, especially with a release that looks just like a slant release, that looks just like a release you use when you run a fade. And you get this DB to turn his hips and really run with you, we can snap it off. And if you get hands off, that's guaranteed separation. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time, coming back here. So you see how Allen, he gives this little hesitation, bursts upfield, get those hands off, snap this thing off on a dime, make that play to the inside. Great work there by Allen. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about an out route with an inside release and how that hesitation release can serve as and we're going to be talking about how you guys want to be late with your hands. And we're going to talk about how that hesitation release can serve to get a feel on this DB. So you see how Allen right here, right? DB's in this kind of catch technique. He wants us to come at him. He wants to get hands. Now, if he's going to take away my outside, what does that usually mean, right? You guys can kind of determine determine this. When he tries to take away the outside and he has no problem chasing you across the field in man coverage, usually means he's got safety help. So why not play the vertical, right? I got help to the inside. I don't want to get beat to the outside. If he tries to force an outside release, I just want to be able to wall him right to that sideline, and then the play's over. I screwed up the timing. I did my job as a DB. So if he takes away the outside, you got to run an out route. I hesitate at him, and then I go and he takes it away. Just take the inside release. Don't try to force it. I get that question asked at least 10 times a week by everybody. If I got an outside breaking route, how do I take an outside release if the DB's taking it away? That's not, it doesn't need to be that way. You guys can take an inside release on any route. You guys can take an outside release on any route. You got to make it work. The only one that's tough is a comeback. But again, it can still be done. And 100% can still be done. Now, if I give him this little hesitation move, he takes away the outside, I take the inside release. So what's something I could work here? I could work a throw by, or I could work to restack and give him something at the top of the break, right? So what do we do? DB's physical. Okay, that's fine. I'm worried about getting hands. I swat him by right at that point of control, the back of that shoulder, and we throw by. I make sure that I accelerate out, especially off of a throw by. This DB is going to be trying to recover. He's in oh shit mode. He got separation. He got my hands off of him. I got to be able to make a play. So what do? We got to make him pay for not having hands. We got to accelerate. I got to pump my arms. I got to drive out of this thing. Anytime you take an inside release on an outside breaking route, don't be afraid to be physical at the top of the route. Swat that DB by. If you give him something off the line and maybe let's say we get some separation, let's work to restack. Maybe I throw a rocker step in there. Maybe I do a heavy indicator cut, whatever it is. But we got to have a plan, especially when this DB takes away the outside. Now let's go back to, hope you guys understand that throw by concept. If you don't, you can feel free to ask questions on it. But when we hesitate off the line like this, we're just gathering info. We're trying to read out this DB's going to play me, because what if his first step is inside and he gives me the outside? Okay, let's roll. Let's take the outside release. Let's maybe throw a peek back in there. Let's break this thing off. Obviously, we have a plan determined before the play starts, but I hesitate. I'm gathering info. He takes away the outside. All right, fine. Let's take the inside release, right? I got some time to work. I got some time to read this thing. It's a great job being patient by Allen. Let's watch it again full speed. So hesitate. He takes away the outside. Take the inside release. Swat him by. Make sure I accelerate out. That's a great route by Keenan Allen. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, guys, if you want to get better hands, check out that link in the description. It says improve your hands in 30 days. Again, no quarterback necessary. You don't need a quarterback for this program. Don't need a whole lot of equipment. Everything that you would need is a household item. We give alternatives. If you have weights, yeah, that certainly helps. But household items is all you really need. Tennis balls and a football. That's pretty much it. So if you guys want to get better hands, again, check out that link. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.